What's up, my friends? I'm U.S. Army veteran ThatChrisChaos, here to provide you with some great Army-related content, but for this specific video, it's kind of military-based. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're going into the Air Force or the Marines or the Army or whatever the case might be. This is really the 2021 military pay chart. There will be some examples I probably give that are more related to the Army side of the house, but for the most part, this pay relates to any branch of service. Also be aware this is talking about active duty, as it does work a little bit different for like reserves and National Guard, as you know, this is, yes, what you get paid monthly on active duty, but this pay chart still kind of relates for National Guard and reserves. It just works a little bit differently because you're only going to get paid for the days that you're doing drill or the days you're doing training. Now, if you were like on active duty or you were like on a deployment or something like that, then yeah, these numbers would kind of factor in the same because you would be basically doing that training or doing that deployment the entire month. But don't use this as an example for reserves and National Guard. This is more for you active duty individuals. This year's pay increase is actually a 3% pay increase. Compared to last year, it was actually only a 3.1, so just slightly lower, I guess, than last year's pay increase. Also, as of recording this video, there's still some things going on with the defense budget and all that stuff like that, some things going back and forth. We won't get into the politics of that. The things that they're arguing about is not related to how much the military is going to get paid, so whenever they figure out the differences, if they haven't already by the time this video is public, this is probably still going to be the pay chart for the military, as they're not really kind of debating against what the military should get paid. So let's dive into it, and be aware this is base pay. There's other factors that go into your paycheck, like housing and other things like that, that could increase this, but let's first just talk about base pay, and then I'll kind of mention some other stuff a little bit later. So if you're someone coming directly into the military, you have no experience, no training, no college, nothing, you're probably coming in as an E1. In the Army, that's a private, and a lot of other branches, it may be something else, but in the Army, that's a private. So the pay grade of an E1, what are you looking at making per month? So this is based on a soldier with less than 2 years of experience, as they will make $1,650 per month. That is before taxes get taken out as well. This is also an increase from last year of $48. Now, if you're someone who maybe got someone recommended to come into the military or into the Army, or you did something else to come in as an E2, a little bit higher up, right? That is going to allow you to make $2,001, which is actually a difference of $58 compared to last year's paycheck. For those of you that maybe go through Eagle Scouts, or maybe you do JROTC, maybe you have an associate's degree, whatever the case might be, you might get to come in as an E3, as that'll allow you to make $2,104. That is a difference of $61 from last year. Now, just before we dive into the next one, if you're not subscribed to this channel and you're interested in this kind of content, maybe you think about hitting that subscribe button, also clicking on the bell so you get alerts as soon as new videos go live. So let's continue on with this journey. Let's talk a little bit more about the 2021 pay chart. If, let's say, you're someone who has a bachelor's degree, that would allow you to come in as an E4 if you didn't want to try to go the officer route. So that allows you to make a little bit more. As an E4 with less than 2 years of experience, that gives you $2,331, which is a difference of $68 from last year. Now, I feel it's probably appropriate to mention, as there are some cases where you could come in as an E5. Specifically, that would be like special forces, right? If you're someone who went 18 X-ray, you're going to go through the SFAS, you make it through selection, you go to the Q course. During the Q course, you're probably getting promoted to sergeant, and you're probably going to have less than 2 years in the Army. So for those few people that maybe do get through that process or are interested in that process, well, you would make $2,542 per month as an E5 with less than 2 years in the Army. That is a difference of $74 from last year. Also fair to mention, if you're someone who wants to maybe go, I think the program's called Streets to Seats, someone who wants to go to pilot, right? They want to go and be a Apache pilot or a Chinook pilot, whatever the case is, and be a warrant officer. Well, a W1 or warrant officer 1, they're going to make $3,309 per month with someone who has less than 2 years of experience. That is a difference of $96 compared to last year. Now, for those of you that do want to go to the officer side and you want to come in as an officer, maybe you already have a bachelor's degree and you want to do, OCS. Maybe you're someone in a 4-year college, depending on how far along college you are, you may already know what it's going to be or whatever the case might be. But for those of you that may be curious for 2021 for a lieutenant or O1, they would make $3,386 per month with a difference of $99 compared to last year's pay. So that is the base pay for 2021. As I said, it's base pay. There are other things that factor in there. If you are a married soldier, right, then you're going to get paid BAH, your housing allowance, based on where you live. That can be anywhere from like $1,000 something to $2,000, depending on where you're stationed at. You're also going to receive BAS for subsistence. It's like $300 and something. So there are a lot of other things to kind of factor in. If you are a single soldier, well, then you're living in the barracks, so you don't have to pay rent. It's not like if you had a civilian job, you'd have to get an apartment, you'd have to get a house, whatever, make rent or mortgage with that monthly paycheck. You don't have to do that if you're a single soldier in the Army. So that's just one less bill you would have. So that's just more money you can use for other expenses. So there are a lot of other factors in there. I have another video that kind of breaks that down if you want to see the breakdown of what your pay would be like as if you did have to pay for those things, like for rent and healthcare and all of those things that you get in the Army. Check out this video right here. If you have not seen my latest video upload, I highly recommend it. Check it out right there. Thanks for hanging out. I'm ChristopherChaos, and I will see you next time. See ya.